For 12 years, my son never spoke. Not a single word. Not dad, not mom, not even a cry that sounded like a real voice. Just silence. A silence that swallowed the house and eventually swallowed me. My name is Daniel Graves. I'm 37, a civil engineer by profession, and a broken father by destiny. My wife, Emily, died when our son, Ethan, was just 2 years old. Since then, it's just been me and him. A quiet house, too quiet. People used to say, he'll talk when he's ready. Some kids take longer. Don't stress it, Daniel. But year after year, doctor after doctor, scan after scan, they all said the same thing. There is nothing wrong with him medically. He should be able to speak. But he didn't. He looked normal. He laughed sometimes. He made expressions. He understood everything. He just didn't speak. Ever. Ethan always had one strange habit. Every night at exactly 2:13 a.m., he would wake up, walk to the living room, and stare at the same empty corner. Same corner, same time, every single night. He would lift his hand slowly, as if he was touching something or someone. I asked him once, "Ethan, what do you see there?" He didn't answer. Of course he didn't. He just stared, then walked back to his room. But the way he stared, with fear, recognition, and sadness, it made my skin crawl. 2 months before that night, I took him for another routine checkup. The doctor was flipping through reports. His eyes narrowed. "Daniel, these brainwave patterns, they've changed." My heart jumped. Changed? Is that bad? Not bad, but unusual. He shows extremely high neurological activity during sleep cycles, almost like he's communicating. Communicating with who? I asked, confused. The doctor shrugged. "We don't know, but children with trauma sometimes internalize voices, and their brains respond as if someone is talking to them." I stared at Ethan, sitting calmly on the hospital bed, legs dangling, eyes empty. Communicating with someone? Talking to who? He didn't speak to me, to anyone. So who? That question lodged itself in my mind like a splinter I couldn't remove. 3 weeks later, I found him drawing something. Ethan almost never drew, but this time he filled pages, dozens of pages. Every page showed the same thing. A tall, dark figure, long arms, no face, standing in the same corner Ethan stared at every night, the corner in our living room. My hands shook as I picked up the drawings. "Ethan, who is this?" He looked up at me. No expression, just empty eyes. Then he turned the paper around, and on the back he had written a sentence that froze my blood. He says he is not here for you. I dropped the paper. Not here from me? Then who? Over the next days, Ethan became more restless. He didn't sleep, didn't eat properly, kept staring at dark spaces, hallways, mirrors. And then he started covering his ears suddenly, as if he heard something loud. But I heard nothing. Once, in the kitchen, he suddenly froze, his whole body trembling, eyes wide with terror. Then he pointed slowly at the dark pantry door and signed something with his hands. I didn't understand sign language well, but I recognized one gesture: danger. The night before Ethan first spoke, the house felt wrong, heavy, cold, breathing. At 2:13 a.m., I woke up without an alarm, like something pulled me out of sleep. I stepped into the hallway, and I froze. Ethan was standing there, back facing me, staring at the living room corner. But this time, he wasn't alone. His shadow wasn't matching his body. Where his arms were still, the shadow's arms were moving, slowly rising, like something behind him was lifting its arms too. My mouth went dry. Ethan? He didn't move. His shadow tilted its head, but he didn't. I stepped backward, heart slamming in my chest. Then Ethan slowly broke the silence, not with words, but by pointing to the dark corner again, and breathing rapidly as if something was whispering into his ear. I carried him to his room, held him until he slept, and finally went to my room, shaken. But I remember thinking, whatever this is, tomorrow I'll get answers. I was wrong, because the very next night, at exactly 2:13 a.m., my son finally spoke his first words in 12 years. He whispered, "Dad, he's standing right behind you."
Ethan's first words in 12 years were not dad, not mom, but a whisper that sliced the darkness. "Dad, he's standing right behind you." For a moment, my heart stopped beating. I didn't turn around, couldn't. The air behind my neck felt cold, heavy, like someone tall was breathing inches away. Ethan, who is behind me?" I whispered, voice shaking. Ethan's pupils dilated. His breathing turned shallow. Then he whispered again, "He's the man from the corner." I froze. The living room corner, the one he stared at every night, the same corner he drew the faceless figure from. But this time he said, "He's not in the corner anymore." My legs felt like concrete. Slowly, very slowly, I forced myself to turn around. There was nothing, just darkness, just an empty hallway. But the silence behind that moment, it felt wrong. I lifted Ethan into my arms. His tiny hands clutched my shirt like he was afraid I would vanish. "Ethan, what did you see?" No reply, just trembling. His eyes kept darting to my back, as if he expected the shadow to reappear. The next morning, Ethan didn't touch his breakfast. He sat quietly, staring at the floor. When I called his name, he didn't blink. But when the refrigerator door creaked open from across the kitchen, Ethan flinched violently. His entire body jerked as if someone had screamed into his ear. I rushed to him. He pushed me away, shaking his head, whispering, "He's still here." My skin crawled. "Who is here?" He pointed to the ceiling, then the walls, then the hallway, not at one spot, at everywhere. I called his therapist, Dr. Hale. "Well," she said, examining Ethan from a distance, "trauma can take strange shapes. Children sometimes project emotions into shadows." "But he spoke," I insisted. "He whispered to me." Dr. Hale nodded slowly. "That means a breakthrough is coming. Trauma doesn't stay buried forever." Before leaving, she said something that unsettled me. "When he finally speaks the truth, it may not be the truth you expect." That night, Ethan refused to sleep in his room, kept shaking his head violently, pointing at the closet. I opened the closet door to show him it was empty, but the moment the hinges creaked open, Ethan screamed. Not a normal scream, a blood-curdling, throat-tearing scream that no mute child should be able to produce. He fell to the floor, covering his ears, crying silently. I knelt down, terrified. "Ethan, what's wrong?" He signed with trembling fingers. "He talks from dark places." My spine froze. That night I couldn't sleep. His words kept echoing. Dark places. Dark places. Dark places. Suddenly, an old memory surfaced. Something I hadn't thought about in years. The night his mother died. A flash. Ethan was crying in a corner. I was holding Emily in my arms. There was blood and broken glass and screaming. But the memory stopped there. Blurred. Incomplete. Did Ethan witness something back then? Was that the source of all this? The next day, I found Ethan drawing again. But this time he didn't draw the tall, faceless shadow. He drew me. Me standing in the hallway. Me turning around. And behind me, a hand stretching from the darkness towards my neck. The same moment from last night. My breathing stopped. "Ethan, how can you draw this? You were in your room last night. You didn't see this." He calmly picked up a crayon and under the shadow's hand wrote, "He showed me." That night, as I was making tea, the pantry door behind me creaked open on its own. Slowly, very slowly, I froze. Tea spilled on the floor. Ethan, who had been at the dining table, stood up like a puppet pulled by strings. He pointed at the open pantry door. His voice cracked as he whispered, "Dad, don't let him in." "In? Ethan, who?" He shook his head, tears falling. "The man you hid." My heartbeat stopped. What man?" Ethan looked straight into my eyes. For the first time in 12 years, he spoke in a full sentence. "The man you hid in the basement the night Mom died?" My hands went cold. My breath caught. I stepped back like I had been struck. What did you say?" Ethan pointed to the basement door, then whispered, "He's waiting." Ethan's words kept echoing inside my skull. "The man you hid in the basement." My throat dried up. My hand shook uncontrollably. "I never hid anyone, Ethan," I said, voice trembling. But Ethan wasn't listening. His eyes were locked on the basement door, unblinking, frozen, as if someone was standing there, someone only he could see. Suddenly, thud, a loud knock from inside the basement. Ethan screamed and hid behind the couch. My knees weakened. Another knock, heavier this time. Thud, thud, thud. My mind spiraled. "No, that's impossible. There's no one down there. There can't be." But Ethan whispered, "Dad, he wants to come out now." The knocks triggered a buried memory. A staircase, a broken bottle, Emily screaming, a man falling down, darkness, and Ethan crying in the corner. I clutched my head. "No, that didn't happen. I don't remember this. Why can't I remember this?" Ethan looked at me with the saddest eyes I've ever seen. "Because you forced yourself to forget." The doorknob turned by itself, slowly, metal grinding, hinges creaking. Ethan sobbed, "Dad, please, Don't let him out. Don't let him hurt you again. I froze. Again? I never hurt anyone, I shouted at the empty staircase. I never killed anyone. I never... A voice interrupted me. A whisper. Not Ethan's, not mine. Deep, broken, male. Daniel. I collapsed against the wall. The voice came from the basement. Ethan cried harder. Dad, please, don't answer him. At the top of the basement stairs, a tall shadow began forming. Long arms, head tilted, no face. Exactly like Ethan's drawings. It took one step up the stairs. Ethan grabbed my arm. Dad, I remember now. My breath stopped. You didn't kill him. I did. The entire world went silent. Ethan's voice, steady, broken, terrified, continued. Dad hit Mom that night. She fell. She wasn't moving. You tried to stop him, but he kept hurting you. He threw you down the stairs. Images flashed in my head. Me falling, pain exploding, darkness consuming. Ethan whispered. And then he came for me. My heart stopped beating. So I pushed him. My hands started shaking uncontrollably. Ethan continued. Dad, you didn't hide a body. You hid the truth. The shadow on the stairs glitched, like a flickering image, then vanished. Only the empty staircase remained. Ethan whispered, I wasn't seeing him. I was seeing the memory of him. It hit me. The shadow was not a ghost, not a demon, not a spirit. It was the manifestation of our buried trauma, the trauma Ethan's mind had stored and mine had erased to survive. He saw it clearly. I only felt it. The shadow was our shared fear, our shared past, our shared truth. His voice was the echo of that night, carved into Ethan's mind. I fell to my knees. Tears poured out uncontrollably. Oh God, Ethan, you were just a child. He hugged me, trembling. I didn't want you to remember, Dad, but he wouldn't stop talking to me. He wouldn't stop showing me that night. Now everything made sense. The drawings, the shadows, the corners, the nightmares, the silence. He wasn't afraid of a ghost. He was afraid of remembering. I stood up, wiped my tears, walked to the basement door. Ethan trembled. Dad, don't go down. I shook my head. No, son. The only way to stop the darkness is to walk into it. I descended the stairs. Halfway down, I heard that same whisper, Daniel. I paused, then whispered back, You're not real. You are a memory, and I'm not afraid anymore. The whisper faded. The basement, dark, cold, empty, felt different, lighter. The haunting was over, because the truth was finally seen. When I came back up, Ethan ran into my arms. Dad, can we stop being scared now? I kissed his head. Yes, because now we know what happened, and now we can heal. Sometimes silence is not emptiness. Sometimes silence is the weight of memories that the heart cannot handle. Trauma does not disappear. It waits in corners, in shadows, in drawings, in whispers. But the moment you acknowledge it, look it in the eye and say, I'm not afraid anymore, that's the moment healing begins.